Hey guys, welcome back. Just a reminder that next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, 12/16. Okay, so that could be in 2 days or in 1 day, depending on when you watch this video. 12/16 is the last day for all makeup and retake work. Okay, so if you need to get that stuff done, make sure you get it submitted on Google Classroom or sent to my email so I can get it graded for you. Today we're going to start on chapter 4. This is section 6 and section 8. So we're going to wrap up chapter 4 today. So that means your assignment on Thursday and Friday, depending on when you have my class, Thursday and Friday of this week, you will take the chapter 4 test. Okay, so make sure that if you have any questions that you check in during office hours. We're multiplying fractions here. You can see that I have 1/2 times 1/3 up here. And unlike when we add or subtract fractions, when we multiply or when we divide, we just time straight across. It's a lot easier, okay? So 1 times 1 is just 1, and 2 times 3 is just 6. So this answer is 1/6. All right, so multiplying and dividing is kind of an easier method. Okay, so the first thing I want to point out when we look at problem 2 is if you can see this little minus sign down here, we've been working the last couple of videos on taking the minus sign out of the front of the fraction and putting it up top, right, with the 3 up here. Secondly, this 2 is a whole number, right? I need to make it a fraction as well, so I'm going to make this as 2/1, right? 2/1 is the same as 2. So now I have a fraction and a fraction, so let's just time straight across again. What's 2 times -3? Well, it's -6. And 1 times 4 is 4. Okay, so if you leave your answer like -6/4, I would just write the word reduce on your test. But we know that we can reduce this. If we divide both of these numbers by 2, we would get -3/2. You can leave your answer as this improper fraction. If you wanted to change it to a mixed number, it could be -1 and 1/2, right? Either answer is fine here, but I would just leave it as the improper fraction because it's going to save you a step. All right, so we're going to stay on page 312. We're going to try a second example, a couple more examples, two more examples of multiplication, and then we're going to try division. So let's look at number 3 here. I'll put them both on the board. Okay, so here we have 2/7 times a -3/8, right? 2/7 times -3/8. And once again, I'm going to move this negative sign up to the 3. Right? I'm going to move it up to the 3. And let's time straight across again, right? We're going to times here and here. So 2 times -3 is a -6. And 7 times 8 should be 56, right? Okay, so these two fractions are divisible by 2, or these two numbers are divisible by 2. If we divide 6 by 2, it would give us -3. And if we divided 56 by 2, I believe that's 28. Right? Is that 28? Yeah, so looks like our answer is -3/28 for problem 3. And number 4 is different. Still, hopefully you can recognize why it's different. We have this mixed number out front. There are a couple of things that we could do here. My suggestion is let's turn the mixed number into an improper fraction, right? Let's just turn it into an improper fraction and multiply like we have been. So 4 times 5, remember we do that by timesing the bottom number by the big number. So 4 times 5 is 20. We have to add the top number, which is 2. So 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22 over 5. So 4 2/5 is equal to 22/5. And now I have 1/2 times 22 over 5. And so let's go ahead and times straight across, right? 1 times 22 is 22, and 2 times 5 is 10. And we know we can reduce this number if we divide both of them by 2. 22 divided by 2 is 11, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I have 11/5, or if you want to write it as a mixed number, you could say 2, would be 2 1/5 here, right? Because 5 goes into 11 twice. It would be 10, and the remainder would be 1. So this one we make into an improper fraction and then multiply. Okay, so let's go over to lesson, there it is. Let's go back over to lesson 8. I'll tell you what page that is. This is, you guessed it, dividing fractions. And while I'm getting my page ready, I want you to think to yourself, you probably know how to divide fractions. We have a mnemonic device, right? We have a mnemonic device that we use that you probably retained since 6th grade. It's an acronym as well, meaning these 3 letters will help us solve it. KCF, keep, change, flip, right? Keep, change, flip. So let's look at example 1 here. Example 1 is 1/3 divided by 5. And problem 2 says 3/4 divided by -1/2. Cool. So the first things with problem 1 is let's make that 5 a fraction, right? So let's put this 5 over 1. All right, so KCF, keep, change, flip, tells us what we're going to do with the problem. The first fraction keeps the same. This is the keep. We will keep it the same. So this stays as 1/3. The C, the change, is referencing the division sign. We're going to change it into multiplication. And then last but not least, flip is this last fraction. We're going to flip it. We have a word for that in math, right? 5 over 1 flips to 1 over 5. The word for flipping a fraction, is the reciprocal. So 5 over 1's reciprocal is 1 over 5. And when we do keep, change, flip, you can see this is multiplication, just like we just practiced. So this should be a little easier. 1 times 1 is 1. Oops, it's kind of a shady looking 1 there. And 3 times 5 is 15. All right, so our answer here is 1/15. 1/3 divided by 5 is 1/15. All right, I'm going to move my negative sign up with the 1. That way I don't lose track of it, okay? Secondly, the keep is the 3/4, right? So this stays the same. The change, right? We're changing the division into multiplication so that we can time straight across. And then 1/2 over 2 flips to 2 over -1. And some of you are probably wondering, what the heck do I do with that -1 on the bottom? Well, the good news is we actually can leave it down there. If you wanted to leave it as -1, that's fine. But we could put it back in front, or we could put it on the top with a 2. It doesn't matter. The negative just goes with one of the numbers. It can't go to both of them. But we can move it around to the 1 or the 2. It doesn't matter. All right, so we flipped 1 over 2 to 2 over 1. And now we times. 3 times -2 is a -6. 4 times 1 is 4. I think we can reduce this fraction, right? 6 and 4 are divisible by 2. So -6 divided by 2 is -3. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Our answer is -3/2, or -1.5 if you wanted to do a mixed number. All right, let's try one more division problem, and then I'm going to have you try a couple for your work here. All right, I am over on example 3. This is on page 329. In this problem, remember, we're still going to do keep, change, flip. All right, once again, we can see we have this mixed number in here, right? We have 3 1/3. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is change this into an improper fraction. I will times the bottom number, the denominator, by the base, the big number, right? 3 times 3 is 9. We will then add the top number. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. This is 10 over 3. So I have 2/3 divided by 10 over 3. So let's do keep, change, flip. The 2/3 is what keeps, right? So it's going to stay as 2/3. The change always talks about the sign. We're going to change it from division into multiplication. And then the flip, right? The flip is the 10/3, right? So 10/3 flips to 3/10. That's the reciprocal, okay? So 2 times 3 and 3 times 10. 2 times 3 is obviously 6, and 3 times 10 is 30. Both of these numbers can be divided by 6, right? 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 30 divided by 6 is 5. It looks like our final answer here is 1/5. Keep, change, flip, right? We're not even going to divide fractions. We're going to keep, change, flip, and make it multiplication, right? We're going to make a multiplication. Okay. All right, so I want to go to page, let's see, 331, and I want to do numbers 1 through 6 all. So you're getting 6 problems to work on today. They're all division, right? Which really should be multiplication, right? You should keep, change, flip. If you have questions, see me during office hours. Reminder that the deadline for all makeup and retake work is this Wednesday, December 16th, and December 17th, 18th, this Thursday and Friday will be the chapter 4 test. Okay, so please be ready for that. If you have questions, see my email and check in, and I will assist you. Good luck.